That is weird. Also, shout out to the fact that they gave Joey like all that stuff in that pre-card game anime. And then they were like, well, we're not gonna give Joey anything more in the card game anime. Why don't we give it all to Seto Kaiba? The anime studio sure liked Seto Kaiba. In a way, the creator really like didn't seem to care because they put him everywhere in everything. If they could include Kaiba, they did. They just straight up made him a main cast character when he did not want to be there near those people. It's kind of amazing how much Seto Kaiba does not want to be in this fucking plot, and they're just like, good luck, motherfucker. Someone else has taken over your company or stolen Mokuba or taken over your company or stolen Mokuba or put you into virtual space. It's fantastic.
Zero says, I only watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, which is why Zero doesn't know how to play the card game.
Does Zero even know what Pot of Greed does?
Does Zero don't even know what Pot of Greed does? I'd say, of course, because of the meme, but no one knows Winterlily didn't know it despite the meme.
Yeah. And Winterlily is queen of memes. Oh.
And the meme showed up after the peak of Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, so it's probably not in there. Surprisingly, you'd think the fact that it was brought up 50 jillion times would be brought up. It would have been joked about by Lil Primo, but don't double kick me, please.
I'm still just shouting out to the
Oh, goodness, I go first.
to the fact that it always drove me nuts. Which one was it? I think it was Swords of Revealing Light, which often would slightly change what it did in the first season when it was like the first arc, the Pegasus arc, when stuff was still a little looser with the card game versus the actual card game. And Swords of Revealing Light, I remember it would drive me nuts because it would change it when it ended. I swear, what 3 turns meant, like if it was 3 turns all the way to through, or like on the 3rd turn, it changed depending on how they wanted the duel to go. I would count this as a kid. I was this, Tails, are you really saying you were this weird as a kid? Yes. I'm also mad at Digimon because one time one of the main characters said having a little brother, and it turns out she didn't. I was a weird kid, and I've grown into a weird adult. But they would always slightly change with Swords of Revealing Light, and I was always so like mad. I was like, no, that's not how it works.
I finally figured out why it was probably a lot looser in the Pegasus arc.
Oh?
That was probably still the part of the series where there was no card game and the guy was just making up stuff as he went along.
I do believe that's it. I do actually believe that's it, and so that's why it's just sort of loosey-goosey with how it goes.
Yeah, and then I believe Battle City is where the card game actually existed now. So that's when it like starts to actually follow the rules of the game.
Hello, Lady Maya 19 is Pot of Greed. We all know what Pot of Greed does. Zero, what does Pot of Greed do? I need to know if I need to make that Shrek meme or not. I don't know if this was true in DM, but the main reason Kaiba appeared a lot in GX and post-DM stuff was because the reason Kaiba appeared a lot in it was because Yugi's Japanese VA was super popular. I think it brings back a monster or something. Why are you asking me?
Hero doesn't even know what Pot of Greed does.
I genuinely feel the need to like redraw that meme with you and me, Lyra. For this. Happy redeemed a message by the way saying don't forget to collect your free coins.
Pot of Greed lets you draw 2 cards from the deck. It kind of makes you do it too. But
But
Technically speaking, it does make you draw 2 cards. If you play it, it does force you to do so, but you're probably doing it on purpose, and you probably want those 2 cards.
but the reason it's like a joke and we're asking you, Zero, is Pot of Greed is used so often in the anime proper, and like every time they use it, they explain it, even though it's so simple. So every time it's used in like every freaking duel. They're like, oh, Pot of Greed, so I get to draw 2 cards. Pot of Greed, so I get to draw 2 cards. I have Pot of Greed, you know what that means. Yes, we do, but you're going to say it anyway.
Yeah, one of the nice things about it is, since it's so simple, it's just I play Pot of Greed, which allows me to draw 2 cards from my deck and add it to my hand. It's such a quick, simple thing that it goes into the motion of doing so. And notably, they won't do that with Pot of Greed because everyone under this, people who don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, not Zero not included, knows what Pot of Greed does. But explaining your cards like that is generally what you're gonna do when you're actually playing with someone.
Yeah. Nope, that was skipped in DM. I like Season 0 because of the punishment games. Happy says, but Tails, the enemy taught me that if you beat someone up hard enough, they'll become a nice person. That's just shonen anime. That's all of them.
Did Yu-Gi-Oh change from Slice of Life to Shonen?
Did what?
Did Yu-Gi-Oh change from Slice of Life to Shonen?
I feel absolutely. Yeah, I would say yeah.
Like it's just a little kid in high school. Also, shout out to Season 0 real quick, where Kaiba actually looks like he's roughly the same age as everyone and doesn't look like an adult.
Yeah. People joke about the fact that like he looks kind of like Noah when Noah shows up in the anime, and I'm like, that's notable mostly because Noah looks like he's actually around the age of like others. Oh, it's so funny too because anime is so weird about that. But like genuinely in high school, I knew this kid and I knew him. I knew both of them actually since middle school. They weren't friends, but it was genuinely a case of you would see this kid in our final 2 years of high school and you were like, who is this adult man who's on the campus? Oh, he's 17.
In anime's defense, it's much more prevalent than it should be in real life, but there are definitely high schoolers that look like adults, as well as high schoolers that look like they're 10, so it can happen.
Yeah. Rip to an old friend of mine who was 3 years older than me, something like that. Anyway, I saw her at one point when she was 23, and Nyx was with me, and I was like, oh, this is my friend from school. I was like, hi. And I was like, so like, how did you know them? I was like, it was from school. They were, but I didn't know them for long because they graduated so much sooner than me. And Nyx was like, what? And I was like, yeah, they're like 23 or something. And Nyx is like, I thought that you like babysat them or something. And it's true because she looked 13. She such a baby face. And anyway, rip the fact that this is just a real thing that occurs sometimes. And it's kind of insane.
It's beautiful.
Oh, also, Kit says, I never watched the original anime. I watched Arc 5 and enjoyed that a lot. I don't think anyone else does, though. No, the general consensus seems to be that Arc 5 is pretty solid. You might argue when it's good, apparently. Some people say the first part is good. Some people say the back half is good. But most people seem to think it's pretty solid. It doesn't seem to rate as the best for many people, but it does seem to be a pretty solid season that people recommend.
Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow.
Also, Happy notes, Kaiba paid the studio to spotlight him. Kaiba gave money to the anime studio to spotlight him more, and also to remove Joey's role. That sounds correct. That sounds correct. Yeah.
I speaking of things that sound correct, I saw this clip that was like, what if Yu-Gi-Oh anime characters actually used competitive decks, and it was like them doing like the anime style of it. Where it was like Kaiba using the competitive deck, using all this. Joey was like, "Wait, what's going on? Wait, hold on, you lost me there for a second. Wait." And just like the idea of Kaiba having an actual high tier competitive deck, while Joey's just like, man, I'm really lucky with my coin flips. That's how I got here, bro. Just feels very in character for both of them.
Yeah. Also, Lady Maya notes I like both Pokemon and Digimon. Same.
Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to say. Earlier, Happy was like, I have I've said that. Happy said that they say Yu-Gi-Oh has the better game, while Pokemon has the better anime, which is a funny comparison because I believe most people will say Pokemon. Comparing to another series, people will say Pokemon has the better games, while Digimon has the better show.
Oh right, we've been talking about this. Anyway, I bapped the people. Digimon had a fundamentally different show, and trying to compare the two is very crazy to me.
Although I honestly do feel like that may be kind of a thing, that just like Digimon has the objectively best shows most of the time. Slides Adventure 2 under a rug.
I love the whole first half of Adventure 2. It's a shame, Lyra, it's such a shame that they only went through like the Ken arc of Digimon Adventure 2 and we never had a back half of that anime.
A shame.
Isn't that a shame? It was a shame. Anyway.
And honestly, the Yu-Gi-Oh card game definitely has its issues, but definitely way more balanced than Pokemon games, even with like actual video games. And then Pokemon just like seems like in the middle. Like it's got a pretty good show and a pretty good game, just not as good.
Yeah. Well, Javier was saying that the main reason it seems to be that Kaiba appeared in GX and post-DM was because Yugi's Japanese VA was so popular he was super busy or expensive or both. So Kaiba appeared a lot instead since his VA was more affordable and available. Anyway. Funny thing is that Pot of Green was banned because it was so simple and yet so powerful.
Yeah, Pot of Green is basically... It's basically there's one less card in your deck and you can add one extra card to your hand.
Zero says, I feel like it was always shonen.
Who said that?
Zero.
You've only seen what's it called? The abridged, which only covers like it doesn't cover the part of it that would count as a slice of life. You have?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a
You've watched season 0, but not the actual main anime.
Zero, your watching is so, what is the term, eclectic? I love it, but also I'm shaking you lightly. Wait, Kaiba isn't some old guy beating up children? No, he went to their school, in their class, in their grade. He is the same age as them. He is the same age as them. I don't know why he got to stop going to school / why he was even going to school in the first place.
Yeah, I think the latter is the question, because I feel like he stopped going to school because something owner of a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Yeah, but it's like on the flip side, then why were you in there in the first
Yeah.
place?
Owner of a multi-billion-dollar corporation that he, I don't know, is the what's it called arc, the virtual reality one, canon?
I think it's the
The one with
think
Noah.
so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, that's canon. He got control of the company by outsmarting his father, who was the old owner of it. So like,
Oh.
makes perfect sense why he doesn't need to go to school. He already knows how to run the corporation better than his dad.
The other weird thing, this is one of those things where it's like, it's a show, don't think about it too hard, but I also want to note, like, so like, do you know a bit about how Japanese high schools work?
Not much, no.
So they're optional. They're completely optional. However, kind of like how here in the US, seeing college is considered not optional by most, it's very much, if they say, like, if you want to have a good life, you are going to go to a high school. And like college in Japanese, it is competitive to get into high school. In middle school, you're supposed to have extracurriculars and high grades, and you can get scholarships for high schools. So, like, you need to work really hard, be very smart, be very, like, wealthy sometimes to get into these very good high schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why was Joey in the same high school as Kaiba? How was Joey? And it was made very clear that Joey and Tristan ran together. Why were Joey and Christian in the same high school as Kaiba? I could see somebody like, actually, I believe in season 0, as a side note, Taya's whole little thing of she's getting money, I think part of it is for the dance school, and I think she actually uses part of it for her high school. That did hurt. More than I would like it to have to the pretty purple burb. Oh, don't focus your energy, sir. What if you didn't do that, actually? It's not broken like it was before.
It did half my health in one hit. I don't think it matters.
You know, that's fair. But,
is it gonna invert my control at some point?
But anyway, I don't understand how those two were in the same high school together. I could see Yugi. Yugi solved the Millennium Puzzle. I could see him be a weird, super high scoring student. Taya feels like she's got that work ethic behind her, you know? That she could be there. How are Joey and Tristan here, or vice versa? Also, honestly, it feels like Kaiba was way low setting it with the vibe of the high school they were in. Anyway, the Zero's here saying, anyone ever noticed Flaffy has fluffy white buttocks on its head? So that's where we're at here. 50-50 canon, Seto's backstory's canon. The rest of the arc is not. Huh. Well, that's still the part where he outsmarted his dad.
Yeah, so the part that mattered to be canon was canon. Also, excuse me, I'm just gonna reset the session again because apparently things aren't going through anymore.
I think Sid only got into high school to see if he could find the fourth Blue Eyes. You know, that actually
doesn't
kind of
check
checks.
because that doesn't check because I think he went to their high school before the card game was even introduced.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Like that makes sense for the. Gosh, dang it.
The card anime one.
Yeah.
I love how Kaiba was meant to be a call-out for elitist TCG card players who only care about good cards and winning without having any fun or really any real connection with the cards. And now he's like an icon of the entire franchise. I was saying that's definitely he became popular enough that we didn't care about that much anymore. I should watch the last episode of the first anime in subbed, Because I'm very curious if they still have that line where Kaiba admits that maybe he believes in magic. And they try to be like, Kaiba's admitting that like magic exists. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're all idiots. Get away from me. And it's like, but they when they did that, I don't believe that was part of like actual mouse moving. They did that as like they're doing the final panning shot away. And so it's like, was that just tossed in for the dub, or like does he have that in Japanese? Kaiba's blue eyes won awards of the freaking Chaos Emperor Dragon.
Why? Why?
He appeared in 2 episodes. Sad the dub didn't finish GX.
Why?
Kawaii ta se kaiwa fly up high again. Okay. So anyway. Also, Zero says, I've seen season 0. I like the theme song they used in Abridged and wanted to see what show it was, which I love that it still came back to Abridged.
Wait. What?
What's up?
Hey. What?
Were you in Cerulean?
No, I was in... Oh, Lord.
What?
And I definitely saved right before I turned it off.
Yeah! Well, not only that, you have saved several times since here. What? That's a whole new level of glitch. Especially with us not putting a ton of strain on the system.
Yeah, it like literally, it just, the thing stopped sending in crowd control effects, so I just reset it, hopefully get it to work again, and it sent me back the whole stream. Like, this is literally where we restarted the stream. It literally says back over an hour.